everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless,
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And look at his cross.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Good early afternoon to everybody here from the Hutzel Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis. It's time for the Crossroads League tournament to get underway. We one of the early games today in the league tournament. Right now it'll be Grace on the road today to take on the number 3 team in the conference, the University of St. Francis Cougars. Grace on the season came in 16-17 into this match. The Cougars 21-12. Looking around at the rest of the first round of the playoffs, it's at 3 o'clock. The match that has already started. Number 1 Indiana Wesleyan taking on number 8 Bethel. Later this evening, these two matches will go off at 5 p.m. down at Taylor University, at Mount Vernon. It'll be Taylor taking on Mount Vernon, and at 7 p.m. Huntington travels to number 2 Marion. So the Crossroads League tournament is underway here this weekend. A chilly weekend it is. Like I said, the Grace ladies team here, they're ready to go. The Lancers, 16-17 overall, 10-8 in conference play. Their head coach, Katie Van Hofwagen. Their last match was a win over Huntington. Leading them in kills this season, Michaela Lockmuller, a local product from Carroll High School. She'll have some help from Gabby Harrington with 192 kills on the season. And also some extra hitting from the outside by Michalowski and Anna Fry will be another one of the players to watch. Their setter tonight, Alexa Hill, on the season, averaging about 10 assists per game. Leading them in blocks this season, number 8, Michaela Lockmuller, and Michaela Bell, also right up there as one of the leaders for Grace. For St. Francis, they come into this match 21-12 overall, 12-6 in conference play. Their head coach, Scott Haddix. He's in his 6th season. And during the season, it was the Cougars winning both matches over Grace in straight sets, 3-0. match for St. Francis was a big W over Spring Harbor in straight sets 3-0. But at the end of the season, the Cougars had their tough part of their schedule. 2 of their last 3 matches were against number 1 and number 2, respectively, Indiana Wesleyan and Marion. Leading the team in kills this season is their middle hitter, Kendra Seifring. Seifring with 343 kills on the season. And she'll have some help on both sides. On the out, from the right side, it'll be Annie Clark. Annie Clark, the senior, 261 kills on the season. And Ava Kunkler will hit on the outside, 207 kills on the season. A player that we have watched grow here during the season for this Cougars team is, let me see here, I lost her, Taylor Carlo with 125 kills. You'll see her on the outside along with Michaela Hissong. The libero today for the Cougars, Nikki Marshall. She'll have some help in that back row with Steckelberger and Gabby North. But the player that really gets this St. Francis team rolling is their setter, Maria Pilak. Pilak just went over 4,000 assists in her career as a Cougar, and she is the one that makes the offense run. On the season, already 1,300 assists, averaging about 11 per game. So those are the 2 teams in the matchup here at the Hutzel Center. A quick update on the football teams. The St. Francis football team, the last I checked, they were in the 3rd quarter and winning 27-7 over Taylor down in Upland. A win by the Cougars sends them off to the national tournament game they will probably play, depending on what shakes out the rest of the afternoon in Des Moines, Iowa. Last night here at the Hutzel Center, it was the Cougars basketball team. The men's team took on Holy Family out of Wisconsin and was victorious 88-66. So can the girls team get the trifecta for the Cougars program? Well, we'll take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll meet the 2 teams. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the Hutzel Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff, that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the 3rd rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Between the Grace College Lancers and your University of St. Francis Lady Cougars! The University of St. Francis Crossroads League in the NAI would like to welcome you to today's contest and ask that you join us in supporting character-driven intercollegiate athletics. Help us create a positive, competitive environment by showing respect for today's student athletes, officials, and spectators. The University of St. Francis is help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. And in the words of St. Francis, enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts, give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your holy will. Amen. Please welcome the following athletes and coaches from Grace College. A senior from Xenia, Ohio, #1, Deborah Kowalski. A freshman from Philadelphia, #2, Chris Brewer. A junior from Croatia, #3, Michaela Lett. A junior from South Africa, #4, James Oates. A junior from Pennsylvania, #5, Gavin Harris. A freshman from Huntertown, #6, Anna Brown. A sophomore from Portland, Indiana, #8, Caleb Parkview. A freshman from North Branch, Michigan, #9, Autumn Shetsky. A freshman from Volleyball, #10, Corey Butler. A senior from Huntington, #12, Alexa Pitt. A sophomore from Warsaw, #16, Hannah Lynch. A senior from Warsaw, #17, Caroline Young. A freshman from Warsaw, #18, Katie Swanson. A freshman from Fairview, #19, Jane Brown. And finally, a junior from Parkview, Indiana, #21, Amy Shepard. The Lancers are coached by Katie Parkview, assisted by Sarah Moore and Colin. Now for your University of St. Francis Lady Cougars. #1, junior SID from Indiana, Katerina Diasio. #2, a sophomore defensive specialist from Portland, Indiana, Gavin North. #3, a freshman defensive specialist from Powell, Ohio, Wiley Fowler. #4, a senior libero from Bussy, Indiana, Nikki Marshall. #5, a freshman right side from Lafayette, Indiana, Kendall Buchanan. #6, a sophomore center from Fishers, Indiana, Madison Candler. #7, a senior middle hitter from Fort Recovery, Ohio, Kendra Seabridge. #8, a freshman defensive specialist from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Kylie Top. #9, a freshman middle hitter from Waukesha, Wisconsin, Eliana Serbinsky. #10, a senior right side from Valparaiso, Indiana, Andy Clark. #11, a sophomore defensive specialist from Leo, Indiana, Abby Niles. #12, a junior center from Cadillac, Michigan, Maria Heelan.
ready to go here for the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. This is the second match of the afternoon. The other one already taking place and going is Taylor. They have already started there. It is Bethel at Indiana Wesleyan. They started at 3 o'clock. Two teams will shake hands and we'll be ready to go. Talked to Coach Haddix prior to this matchup, and he had a few things to say. He said that all it takes is one bad set to get things going in the wrong direction, especially in the conference tournament, and things seem to snowball. And the next thing you know, you're down early and you cannot catch up. On the other hand, he did say, however, their practices this week have been outstanding. They've hit the ball harder than they have all season. They've got a little bit of rest, and they are ready to go. On the court for the Cougars, they'll send out Pelak, number 8, Top, along with Seafring, DiAgostino, Annie Clark, and the freshman Carlo. And then Nikki Marshall will check in here in just a moment for the Cougars. On the court for the Lancers will be number 3, Michaela Bell, number 6, Annie Fry. She'll hit on the outside. Try to get these numbers for you. The libero today, Gina Novotny. Back to serve will be number 13. Looks like 13. We'll get those numbers for you as they start to come in here. Number 12 will also start. Alexa Hill, she'll be the setter. Good float serve right to the back row. Here's an outside swing and driven into the double block by Carlo, and she puts it away for the first kill of the match. And that will get some subs in. Stuckelberger will check in for Carlo. She'll serve along with Ava Kunkler. Kunkler will go in for Top. She'll play on the outside now. DiAgostino will be in the middle, and Annie Clark will play on the right side. Stuckelberg, a pretty good server. We'll pass a little bit off to Hill. Here comes a shot from the right side, and dug. That was Harrington. Now Kunkler will go cross court, but Novotny is there. Big swing down the middle, off the chest of Stuckelberger, and a kill for, I believe that was number 3, Bell, her first. And we're tied up at 1. The other starter is Caroline Mayers. Stuckelberg with the pass to Pelak. Right side to Annie Clark. Cross court. And it's a kill. Marshall back to serve as Kendra Seafring, the leading scorer for St. Francis, checks in. She'll play in the middle. Good pass by Fry. Hill will go right side now to Harrington. Down the middle, and she's got another kill. Number 21 checks in. She'll serve. That is Sharp. Good pass by Stuckelberg to Pelak. Over to Seafring, and she's dug there. Outside to Fry and off the double block. So go right side back to Clark. She mishits it. It goes into the net. A hitting error and a point to the Lancers. They lead by 1. Good float serve, good pass. Outside now off the net, and it's Kunkler with the kill. Her first, and we're tied up at 3. Back to serve the senior, Annie Clark. Good pass to Hill. Outside to Fry. She hits it into the double block. Punched into the air by Pelak, and right back to Fry again. Tools it off of Pelak and out of bounds. Fry, a local product from Carroll High School. Into the game comes Gabby North for Annie Clark. Number 19 checks in. Block for the Lancers. Back to serve is Fry. Good pass by North. They'll go outside to Kunkler. She was too deep on that. Didn't get a good swing. In the middle, tipped, and tipped back up into the air. Here comes Kunkler on the right side. But right there is Novotny. Quick swing in the middle. And outside to the senior, and it goes out of bounds. I'm not sure that ever got over. And they'll say it went off of the blockers. And Kunkel with their second kill. Taylor Carlo and Candler will check in. Candler will serve. Candler's ball off the net, and she's got herself an ace. Watch St. Francis in warm-ups. Their serving was not exceptionally well. A lot of balls driven straight into the net. Another good hard serve. Good pass to Hill. A little tight to the net and blocked by Seifring. Now on the slide and off of the blockers. Pilak goes after it but can't catch up to it as Lockmuller gets her first kill of the match. Up off the bench, number 3 checks back in. That's Bell. Novotny will go back to serve. Nikki Marshall back in for St. Francis. And they'll go right at. That ball's by Seifring through the double block. I believe they served that right at number 8 top, and she had a good pass there to get him in system. Seifring will serve. Hill now, a tight ball to the net to Bell. She's got enough on it to get it over everybody. And she ties it up. Nikki Marshall in for Seifring. Into serve, back to serve is number 12, Alexa Hill. Harrington checked back in for the Lancers. A float serve right at DiAgostino. Outside now to the freshman. She puts a big swing on it. And can they get it over the net? Fry cannot, and Carlo with the kill. Carlo and Steckelberger both played at the same high school over in Ohio. Chance for the Cougars now. Right side to Clark, who just checked in. She hits it into the blockers. Nikki Marshall with the bump set to Carlo. She goes cross court. Too much on that, and it goes out of bounds. Back to serve number 19, Block. Carlo's pass tight to the net. They'll have to go right back to her. She hits it straight into the net, and I don't think that ever went over, and I agree with the head coach. that ball never went over. Coach Hopwagen, she's had a good visual of that too. Block to serve once again. Good pass by Top. Pilak to DiAgostino. Off a couple blockers there, and now another chance for the Lancers. Here comes Fry. Hits it off the blockers, and a good pass. Good tip there by DiAgostino, and what a pancake. Alexa Hill with a great play. Outside now to the freshman. She tools it, hits it right through the double block. And Taylor Carlo heating up here early. Steckelberg back in. She'll serve along with Ava Kunkel, who will play on the outside now for St. Francis. Good pass. Hill with a good set outside. Into the double block, and another chance for Grace. And now off the blockers again, and a kill for Ann Fry. Fry with her second kill, and the Lancers back into a 1-point lead as Bell serves. Another float serve right to DiAgostino. They'll go all the way outside to Kunkel. The blockers are late getting there, and she knows what to do with that. She puts it away, her third kill. Nikki Marshall, she'll serve for St. Francis. Harrington with a big swing and blocked. And this ball's going to go out of bounds, and the Cougars will have a lead. Good hard serve. Good pass by Novotny. Outside tight ball to the net. Off of Pelak. Goes through the rafters and a good bump set. And a free ball now for Grace. They'll go outside. Dug by Pelak, but Fry's got too much on that. The freshman with another kill. Number 21 comes in. She'll serve. That's Emily Sharp. Sharp, a junior from New Carlisle, Indiana, Mishawaka Marion High School. Good pass by Stuckelberg. Over to Clark. Now they're going to call a double hit on the setter, Pelak. Cougars just a little bit out of sync. It seems like things are going a bit too fast right now. Good pass by Stuckelberg. They'll go in the middle. Kendra Seifring will have a kill. Her second. Good attack in the middle by St. Francis. It'll be Annie Clark back to serve, all tied up at 11. And an ace for the senior. Another good hard serve. Difficult pass. Now here's Fry off the net. Takes a swing and is blocked by Seifring. A bump set right back to Fry. Tight to the net. She'll tip it down the line. Fry's there and outside to the senior Kunkel. Novotny's got it for Grace. In the middle and a nice shot. I believe that was Lockmuller on the kill. And we're tied up at 12 here at the Hutzel Center as Gabby North comes back in. For St. Francis. Back to serve is Fry. They'll go outside to Kunkel. Big swing cross court, and she's got a kill. Her fourth. Carlo back in along with Candler. Candler to serve. Novotny with a good pass to Hill. Lockmuller off of the blockers and a bump set outside to Carlo. Carlo not much on that. Hits it directly into the net. Up off the bench comes Top. She'll replace Candler and she'll play in the back row with Marshall and North. Back to serve is Novotny. Also back in number 3, Bell for Grace. Good pass to Pelak. Outside off the net to Carlo. Swings, hits it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Novotny to serve again. Third team leading. Good pass to Pelak. To Seifring. Drives it off the net. And Seifring with another kill, her third. Seifring will serve. Back in comes DiAgostino. She'll replace Marshall. Seifring with a service error and a point side out to the Lancers as Harrington will check back in. And number 12 will serve, Alexa Hill. Seifring will check out and Marshall back in for St. Francis. Good pass now, outside now to Carlo, off the net, through the double block. Taylor Carlo with another kill, her fourth. Annie Clark will come in. She'll play right side now for the Cougars as the setter, Maria Pelak, serves. Pelak with a big high serve there, right to Novotny. They'll set it in the middle to Bell. She'll get it over the top, but Pelak is there. Good set to Clark, off of the blockers and out of bounds. Give that assist to DiAgostino with a nice set to the senior. Hill set now, goes right side. Hit, but it somehow got over the net. Carlo drives it into the double block and it goes out of bounds. Carlo with her fifth kill. Largest lead by either team now at 2. Good serve. A free ball coming for the Cougars. Will all back off the net. Oh, nobody goes after it. And Fry gets credit with their 4th kill. No communication in that back row. So 1-point lead now for St. Francis. Good pass by Carlo. They'll go to DiAgostino on the slide. She'll go cross court, and she's dug there by Hill. A bump set now to Harrington. She'll go cross court, and Pilak is there. Bump set to Carlo from Marshall and dug by Novotny. They'll go outside to Fry. She takes a swing, and Pilak is there. Bump set now, blocked and dug by Augustino. Carlo takes a little bit off of that. Outside now, here comes the freshman. Carlo saves it, but it's going to go out of bounds. Fry with her 5th kill. We're tied back up at 17. Block to serve again. Here comes, Annie Clark just about decapitated somebody. And we play on, and it's going to be, wow. Fry with another kill, and the lead goes back to the Lancers. What a rally between the two teams. Good deep serve, difficult pass. Bump set now to Carlo off the net. She takes a big swing and dug by Novotny. In the middle to Bell. Not on the same page as Hill and Bell. And it's a side out point to the Cougars as they'll bring back in Steckelberg and Kunkler. Mayer back in for the Lancers. Steckelberg serve goes right at Novotny. A good pass to Hill. Fry with another swing and dug by the senior. Annie Clark hits it off the blockers. And it was out of bounds. So Clark will get credit with her 3rd kill from that outside attack or right side attack position there. Wasn't sure if that was in or out. It was directly in front of us here, right in front of the pole. Bell with the pass to Hill. In the middle to Fry. She's blocked by DiAgostino. Timeout on the court. Grace will take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Timeout over here. The Cougars with a 2-point lead here in set number 1. They lead 20-18. It's been back and forth this entire set. There's a bad pass. Novotny will just send it into the air. Now a chance for the Cougars to extend their lead. They'll go to Clark, who puts it away. And the Cougars enjoy their biggest lead of the match at 3. Steckelberg still serving for St. Francis. Good pass, right side now to Harrington, and she puts it away. Back to serve is Bell. Good set outside to Kunkel. Drives it into the double block, and Lockmuller says she'll have none of that, and she stuffs it right back in the face of the senior. We've got ourselves a 1-point match again. Bell to serve. Good deep serve. Bump set coming now, right side to Clark. She'll go cross court, off the hill, and nobody will be able to catch up to that. Annie Clark already with 5 kills, and that'll get Kendra Seifring up off the bench. And she'll check in, she'll go in the middle. Kunkel will play on the outside, and Clark right side as Nikki Marshall serves. And it's going to be an ace for the senior. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Cougars just 2 points away from taking the opening set here in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament against Grace. It has been back and forth. Cougars cannot shake this tough Lancers team. Marshall to serve. Another good hard serve, good pass. Hill will go outside to Fry, who hits it off the antenna, and we are at set point. And we'll crank up the volume here at the University of St. Francis. Crank up the volume presented by Parkview Sports Medicine. That does it for the first set here. It's St. Francis winning 25-20 over Grace. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second set. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff, that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Center. It is the Cougars leading 1-0 over the Grace Lancers. Updating all you Cougars football fans out there that weren't able to make the game or were watching it and now have joined us here. The Cougars victorious today over Taylor, 27-14. That should be enough to get them into the tournament. And they take the top 16 teams. The Cougars are ranked number 13 going into that game. I don't see why much would change. And if things hold true, they should be off to Iowa next week to play in Des Moines. The unofficial kills in the first set. Seifring with 3. Annie Clark with 5. Kunkler with 4. 5 from Carlo. An ace from Clark, an ace from Marshall, and an ace from Candler. For Grace, 3 kills by Bell, 2 by Harrington, 6 by Fry, and Lockmuller with 2 kills and a block. And it'll be Steckelberg to get us going here in set number 2. Outside now to the freshman. She tips it, but I think Annie Clark was in the net. She was. Novotny out, Bell back to serve. Good pass by Steckelberg. Clark hits it off of the blocker, off of Fry, and she's got another kill. Annie Clark with her 6th kill. Nikki Marshall back to serve. Good hard serve right down the middle. Difficult pass to Hill. Free ball now for the Cougars. Can they execute this one? In the middle to Seifring, and she's underneath it and hits it too far. In to serve is Sharp. Grace Irwin also into the match for Grace, playing right in the middle of the back row. Grace leads 2-1 here. Good pass by Steckelberg. They'll go to Seifring. She's too far off the net. She's got another hitting error. And the Lancers out to a 2-point lead. Marshall with a tight ball to the net. Pelak now to Annie Clark. She hits the antenna, and it's 4-1. Not a good start for the Cougars. Cougars trying to pull off the three-peat this weekend. The football team victorious, the basketball team victorious, and now they're trying to get the Cougars women's volleyball team victorious. And Kunkler with a hitting error, and that ball was about 10 feet out of bounds. Actually, they say that was off of, it was a touch. So Kunkler with the kill. Her 5th, good pass there. Slide now, cross court, and a kill for Lockmuller. Irwin will check out. In comes number 19, Block, and back to serve is Fry. Good pass by North to Pelak. Now to Seifring. Seifring off the net and dug. Here comes Lockmuller again off the blockers. And a bump set outside. A good one for Kunkler. She'll go cross court, and she'll have another kill. That was, I believe, Block that reached back on that one. And Kunkler with her 6th kill as Candler and Carlo check in. Candler will serve. Good pass by Novotny. Hill with a good set and blocked by Pelak. Here comes Fry out of the back row, and that might have gone out of bounds, but it's dug by Candler. Carlo swings, and the roof is closed as Alexa Hill slams it shut. Alexa Hill with the big block, the senior from Huntington North High School, as Novotny serves. Float serve coming. North with a good pass. They'll go to Seifring. She hits it into the blockers. Now another chance for the Cougars. Good bump set outside. Carlo swings off of the net and off a block again, and Carlo with another kill. The points are not coming very pretty right now for St. Francis. A lot of ugly ones. 6-4 the score. Kendra Seifring serves. Hill with a set now to block. She'll go off the blockers right at Carlo. They'll go back outside now to Carlo. Will St. Francis, and it's a touch, and Annie Fry with it. And Bell. That ball's wide left and out of bounds. Sometimes we do see where they don't let Kendra Seifring serve, but tonight they are going to allow her to serve. She is a pretty good serve specialist. She puts a lot of pace on the ball. That time she drives it into the net. Just as I say she's a good server, she serves it into the net. Harrington will check in, and so will Nikki Marshall. Back to serve number 12, Hill. Another float serve. A difficult pass. Good bump set now to Carlo. She'll tool it off the blockers, and Novotny with a good save. Harrington tips it down the line, but Marshall's got that covered up, and back outside to Carlo. And another save, dig by Novotny. D'Agostino tips it towards the far corner, near corner, but Fry is there. Block swings and hits it into the net. Annie Clark's going to check back in for Gabby North. And the Cougars trail by 1. Novotny with 2 great saves in that rally. Probably 2 of the better liberos here this evening. Good pass. Hill right to Bell. She tips it over the blockers, and a bump set now to Clark. Clark down the middle, and that's going to go right into the scorer's table, and we're tied up. Annie Clark with her 7th kill. So the Cougars able to erase an early 3-point deficit as Pelak serves. She'll go right at block. A bump set coming outside now to Harrington. Oh, and she gets away with hitting a changeup. Harrington gets credit with her 3rd kill. And I'm not even sure that hit the front of her hand. That may have hit the back of her hand and gone over. She swung and it hit this part of her hand and was able to make it over the net. Carlo with a good pass. Now to D'Agostino on the slide, and she is blocked by Fry. Fry with her first block and a 2-point lead for the Lancers. Grace Irwin to serve. Irwin played her a high school ball at East Noble. That ball's served long and out of bounds. And up off the bench comes Steckelberg and Kunkler, and they'll return. They'll replace Top and Carlo. Good pass by Irwin to Hill. Now to Harrington, and that hit the antenna, and we're tied up. Harrington has had pretty good success against the Cougars. Irwin's pass is off, and a bump set out to Harrington. She drives it into the blockers, and I believe Ava Kunkler gets credit with the kill, or excuse me, the block. And the Cougars with their first lead here in the second set. Fry shanks that pass out of bounds. And Steckelberg with the ace, her first, the team's 4th. Irwin's pass a little tight to the net. Good set to Harrington, and she puts it away. That was a great play by the setter. Able to turn something or nothing into something on that play as Lockmuller checks back in. Harrington now with 5 kills. Bell back to serve. Another float serve, short, but Marshall's got that one. They'll go in the middle to DiAgostino. It's blocked, but it goes out of bounds. DiAgostino with her first kill of the match. Nikki Marshall back to serve as Kendra Seifring will check back in. So this is the lineup they like to have in the front row. Tight ball to the net to Hill. Once again, she saves it. Lockmuller just tips it over in the middle to Seifring, and it's going to hit the floor. Seifring with her 4th kill, and the Cougars out to a 3-point lead. Doing some cleanup duty out there is Harrington. Another bad pass, now outside to Fry. She'll take a swing, hits it into Seifring, and outside to Kunkel off the neck. Doesn't get her feet set, and that's long. Difficult one there for Kunkel as she just could not get enough depth to get back to take a big swing on that. In comes number 21, Sharp. And she'll serve with her team trailing now by 2. Good pass by Steckelberg to Pilak. Right to Seifring, who takes a running swing, and nothing there. Fry is blocked by Clark. What a block by the senior. Good pass. They'll go to Lockmuller. She'll go cross Clark, but Clark is there. And Clark can't catch up to that one from Lockmuller. Then Lockmuller gets credit with her 4th kill. That'll get Gabby North back in for Annie Clark. Fry to serve. Good pass by Marshall. Seifring on the slide, too much on that, and it goes out of bounds. Looking for a touch, none there. Point to the Lancers. Marshall with another good pass outside to Kunkel. Off the net, off a couple players, and she's got another kill, her 7th. Back to service Candler, also in is Carlo. And an ace. Candler's 2nd of the match. Cougars with a 3-point lead. Another bad pass, and it's going to be another ace. And a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And look at his cross.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Timeout over here at the Hutzel Center. The Cougars enjoyed their largest lead here in the 2nd set at 4. The winner of this match will take on the winner of Marion and Huntington. That is a match that will happen this evening down in Indianapolis, as Huntington will take on Marion at 7 p.m. At 5 o'clock, and that's about 15 minutes away. It'll be the 6th seed taking on the 4th seed. That'll be Taylor at Mount Vernon. Candler to serve once again. She just had 2 straight aces. Good pass. Hill with a good set, and in the net, actually under the net, one of the Cougars. Top will check in for Candler. She'll be in the back row now with North and Novotny to serve. If I'm maybe Grace, I don't really give Marshall the chance to serve or to pass here. And they go right at her. She's a very good passer. Outside now to Carlo, into the double block, and she's got enough on that to put it away. Taylor Carlo with her 7th kill, as DiAgostino will come in. Marshall will go off, and Kendra Seifring will serve. Good pass by Hill, and a good swing there by Bell, but not enough on it. In the middle to DiAgostino, and they're going to call Pelak for the double hit. Coach Haddock up off the bench, not believing that, but yeah, actually DiAgostino saying yes, it was. Marshall back in. Hill with a good serve. DiAgostino drives it into the net. Nobody can cover up Novotny, and DiAgostino with another kill. Novotny's been in the right spot almost every single time for the Lancers. Back to serve is Pelak. Outside, nope, they'll go right side to Bell, but she's dug there by Marshall. Here comes Clark from the right side, and she's got a kill. Sorry, there was a sub that came in for the Lancers. I didn't catch it. It was Michaleski. She comes in, and we've got a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Cross.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
20-15 our score here in set number 2. The Cougars already enjoy a 1-0 lead over Grace. Another good serve by the Cougars. An ace for Pelak. Seven aces for St. Francis. And another bad pass. Michaleski off the net, drives it into the double block of Clark and DiAgostino, and now a chance for the Cougars to put some more points on the board. And another double hit on Pelak. That time I saw it. It went from right to left pretty easily. Back in comes Irwin. She'll serve. Out goes Michaleski. Good pass by Top, a little tight to the net. Annie Clark takes a swing, dug by Novotny. And sent over. I'm not sure if that would have been in, but they'll play it anyways. DiAgostino, cross court, hits the line, and she's got a kill. DiAgostino now with 3, make that 4 kills. Kunkler back in along with Steckelberg. Steckelberg to serve. And it looks like Bell's going to come back in for the Lancers. Or nope, they're just waiting to make a substitution change. That's Hannah Leach coming in, the sophomore from Warsaw High School. And a service there on Steckelberg. Coach Haddock not happy about something here. Down to my left. I think it had to do with the substitution. He's letting the up official know about it. Bell to serve. Steckelberg with a good pass. Now outside to Kunkel. Cross court, but dug by Bell. Hill with the set outside to Fry. That ball never went over. Yeah, I don't know what they were waiting on. That ball was about, a foot down into the net. That's the third time in this match. Cougars got away with it once. And the second time they didn't, and now the Grace has not. Here comes Marshall with the serve. Harrington will swing, go cross court, but right there is Clark. Bump set now to Kunkel, off of the blockers, and we are at set point. And we'll crank up the volume once again this evening, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine. That'll do it for set number 2. It's all Cougars. They take it 25-17. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the third set. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
We are ready to go here at the Hutzel Center for set number 3. The winner of this match will take on the winner of Marion and Huntington. That match will kick off tonight at 7 p.m. It'll be Irwin to get us started. A big swing by Clark, and she's got another kill. Steckelberg will come back in along with Ava Kunkel. Kunkel overstretching, then realized she had to run into the match as Carlo and Top will check out. Steckelberg's ball goes right at Irwin. Now to Harrington, off of Marshall, and another big swing by Harrington. Mentioned it before, Harrington has been a thorn in the Cougars' side every time I've seen him play because she's left-handed. She usually gets a pretty good swing on it on that right side for the Lancers. Novotny to serve. And she's got herself an ace. Just the first ace of the match for the Lancers. And they'll go right at Steckelberg again. Good pass to Pilak. To DiAgostino. Cross court. They say touched. A touch. And DiAgostino will have her 5th kill. And that will send Marshall back to serve for St. Francis. Good pass to Hill in the middle to Lockmuller. She's blocked. Fry will tip it down the line, but Steckelberg is right there. They'll go right side to Clark. The blocker gets her late, but a nice block by Fry. Another big swing, but Irwin's there. And the freshman takes a big swing, but Steckelberg is there. Kunkler waits, and play on. Oh, look at that play by Pilak. A great dig. And a stuff block by Seifring gives the Cougars the lead here in this set. Pilak with a great save. Fry with a great save in that rally, and that was the longest rally of the match. Good float serve. Irwin's pass now outside to Fry. She took something off of that into the net, and Fry is going to get credit with a kill, her 7th. Back to serve number 21, Emily Sharp. She'll go right at Marshall, and that ball's going to go into the front row. The Lancers back into the lead with the ace. In the middle now to Seifring, off of the net. Good dig there by Novotny. Fry will send it cross court, and Pilak catches up to that, and here comes Kunkler. Craw down the line, too much on it, and it goes out of bounds. May even went behind the antenna. Tight ball to the net. Here comes Clark. She jumps a little too early. She wanted a 1 ball and got a 3. It's a 3-point lead now for the Lancers. They had a 3-point lead in the second set before the Cougars took over. Another bad pass. Here comes Seifring. Hits it into the double block, and it goes out of bounds. Seifring with her 5th kill. Back to serve, Annie Clark. Good pass by Novotny to Hill. Bumps that outside now to Fry. She'll swing and go across court. Back to Seifring, off the double block, and the Cougars trail by 1. Seifring's 6th kill. Lancers need a good pass here. There's Irwin with that good pass on the slide to Lockmuller, down the line, but Marshall's there. Outside now to Kunkler. And that ball was touched. Oh, and went up and hit the backboard. Ava Kunkler will get credit with the kill, her 9th. She leads all players, and we're tied at 6. Yeah, if we had to go after that ball after that, we would have to get our back fixed, Big Dave. Good little ball tight to the net, and Seifring puts it away, and the Cougars have the lead. We've got a timeout on the court. Sharp tying her shoes. Annie Clark thought that was the whistle to start the point, and she took off. Oh, and into the net. It was like a timeout anyways. Back in for the Lancers, Michaeliski, and in for the Cougars, Gabby North. Back to serve, the freshman Fry. Good pass by Marshall to Pelak. Outside now to Kunkler, off of the blockers. And Hill and Lockmuller both there for Grace. Here comes Seifring again, off of the blockers and out of bounds. Seifring starting to heat up. She's got 8 kills. Carlo and Candler check in for the Cougars. Candler will serve. Fry's pass goes right to Hill. Outside to Michaeliski with the kill. And it's back to a 1-point lead for Grace. Lockmuller to serve. Good pass to Peel. Nope, she's going to tip it quick, and they're going to call her for a double hit. Or a lift is what was called. Pelak with a good pass now outside to Carlo, into the blockers. Pelak's there, and the bump set coming by Marshall to Carlo. She'll swing again, deflects right between the double blockers, and she's got another kill. Taylor Carlo with her 8th kill of the match. Back to serve, Kendra Seifring. Sharp's pass now is a bump set outside, and that ball was going to go long and saved by Seifring. DiAgostino hits it over, and a free ball now for the Lancers. Oh, and DiAgostino is ready for the quick shot by Hill, and she stuffs it right back down. She went up right away knowing it was coming. That is her 2nd block of the match, and we're tied up at 10. Good pass to Hill. Outside now. Michaeliski's dug there by Tapp. In the middle of DiAgostino. She'll tip it, but out of bounds. Harrington will check in for the Lancers. Marshall will check in for the Cougars. And back to serve is Hill. Pelak now outside now to Carlo. She hits it into the blockers. Has not been a good kill percentage tonight for Taylor Carlo. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the Hutzel Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Timeout just about over here. The Grace Lancers with a 2-point lead here in set number 3. They trail 2 sets to love to St. Francis. They lost the first set 25-20 and the second one 25-17. This was about the point in the second set where the Cougars really took over and grabbed a lead and never looked back in set number 2. Float serve right at Marshall. And DiAgostino, they called it long. It was close, but that official was standing right there and had a good vantage point. Wait, did they say a touch? They did say a touch. So DiAgostino now with 6 kills as Pilak serves it into the net. Irwin will check in and she'll serve. Marshall gets that float serve. They'll go to Clark. She tips it over everybody and has another kill. Annie Clark with her 10th kill. Kunkler and Steckelberg back in for St. Francis. Bumps that now outside to Fry. She'll wrist it, but right there is Marshall. In the middle to DiAgostino, off of the double block, and we're tied up. DiAgostino now with 7 kills. Good pass there by Novotny. Now to Harrington. She'll go cross court. Good dig. Now a chance for the Lancers to get the lead. Harrington tips it, but right there's DiAgostino. Outside now to Kunkler. She'll go cross court, but Novotny will have none of that. Outside to Fry, and Marshall with the dig. Here comes Clark from the right side, off of the antenna. And Coach Scott Haddock just a little bit unhappy with his team as Novotny will go back to serve. Lockmuller back in for the Lancers. Steckelberg with a good pass. In the middle to DiAgostino, and she puts it away. Her 8th kill, and we're tied up again. Marshall to serve. Kendra Seifring will return and play in the middle for the Cougars. And an ace for Nikki Marshall as that ball hit the official. And that is Marshall's second ace of the evening, and the Cougars lead by 1. Another good hard serve. Good pass that time by Fry. Here comes Harrington, and that hit the official, so it's out of bounds. And now a float serve. Irwin's pass to Hill. Outside now to Fry, and she's dug by Pilak. Bump set now to Clark, off of the blockers, but Novotny is there. And tipped by Lockmuller, but blocked by Seifring. Down the line goes the ball, and right side now for the Cougars. Too much on that by Annie Clark, and she hits it out of bounds. She probably could have gone down the line rather than cross court. There was only one blocker there, and they got there late. Back to serve is Emily Sharp. Good pass by Marshall. Seifring swings off of the block of Lockmuller, and it goes out of bounds. Seifring now with 9 kills, and Clark to serve. Novotny's pass is headed right for the scores table. Good save by the Lancers. Now a chance for the Cougars. Seifring's shot is blocked by Fry. Gabby North will check in for Clark. Back to serve is Fry. Marshall's pass to Pilak. Seifring off of the blockers and into the net, and she's got her 10th kill. Candler and Carlo back in. Candler to serve. Candler will go right at Fry. Good pass to Hill. Outside now to Michaleski. Wrists it over the top of the blockers. And outside now to Carlo. She drives it off everybody, and Lockmuller again with the block. Taylor Carlo might have nightmares tonight of Michaela Lockmuller. That's the third time she's blocked her this evening. And that'll send Lockmuller back to serve. Good pass there by Top. Here comes Seifring from the right side, and she's blocked. Outside to Michaleski. She tries to drive it down the line, and it's blocked there by Pilak. Fry's blocked by Seifring. Her second block of the evening. And that'll send her back to serve with her team leading by 2. My guess is they're going to go right down the middle with this. They are. They're going to go right at Fry. Good pass to Hill. And a nice swing there by number 16, Hannah Leach. That's her first kill of the match. And Nikki Marshall will check in as Hill goes back to serve. Harrington back in for the Lancers. Little tight ball to the net, one-handed set. A good swing by DiAgostino, but Hill is there. And a kill for the Lancers. They tied it up at 19 now. Grace has been pesky all evening. Cougars have had to earn every single point. DiAgostino off of Novotny and dug by Fry outside. Another easy shot that's deflected back over. Here comes Harrington. Drives it through the double block, and she's got a kill, and the lead goes back to the Lancers. Up comes number 18, Hissong. She'll check in for Carlo. Just really not Carlo's evening. And an ace. Alexa Hill with the ace, and it's a 2-point lead now. And Coach Haddock's having his players move back. He's got a strong defensive group back there now, as Hill will swing and hit it right at the top. Outside now to Hissong, who comes right in, swings and hits it off of Novotny. In a chance now for the Cougars. They'll go outside to Hissong, through the double block, and she's got a kill. Hissong went to Leo High School, and that'll bring Annie Clark back in, and back to serve is Pilak. Fry's pass goes right to Hill, outside to Michaleski, and she is blocked by DiAgostino. And we're tied up at 21. Good pass by Fry to Hill. Now on the slide to Leach, and in the net was Hissong. That'll get Irwin up off the bench. She'll come in and she'll serve. Her team leads by 1. And the Cougars go on a run here to end this third set and win in straight sets, or does the Lancers have other ideas to move us on to a 4th set? In the middle to DiAgostino, she's blocked. Outside now to Hissong, and she mishit it. Irwin to serve once again. Just 2 points away from taking this set. Good pass by Top. Pilak outside now to Clark, who went to the other side and into the net. Was the Lancers, and it's a 2-point set here with Steckelberg to serve. Ava Kunkler will check back in. Good pass by Irwin to Hill. Here comes Harrington, and she blasts it for a kill. Harrington with 8. And it is set point, and we'll crank up the volume once again, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine. That does it for set number 3. The Lancers win 25-22. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the start of the 4th set. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate. And it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the 3rd rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. This is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
The Lancers extend their season. They win set number 3, 25-22, and we're headed to the 4th set. Your unofficial stats in kills for St. Francis: 10 kills by Seafrink, 10 by Clark, 8 by DiAgostino, 9 by Kunkler, 8 by Carlo, and 1 from Hissong. For the Lancers, 2 from Michaeliski, 2 from Bell, actually 3 from Bell, Harrington with 8, Fry with 7, Lockmuller with 4, and Leach with 1. The winner of this will take on the winner of Huntington and Marion. That match will start at 7 p.m. down in Indianapolis. So the Cougars, I believe, will start with the serve here in set number 4. Cougars win this set, and they can win. They'll finish the trifecta this weekend for St. Francis. The boys' men's basketball team victorious last night over Holy Family 88-66. The Cougars football team today victorious 27-14 over Taylor. And that should move the football team into the NAIA tournament, which should start next week, and we believe they could be headed off to play in Iowa. Steckelberg will serve for the Cougars. Cougars have had slow starts in all 3 sets. Here comes Harrington. She's blocked. Good save by Irwin. Outside now to Fry. She's dug there by Pelak, and a bump set outside to Kunkler. Free ball now for the Lancers. Harrington tips it into no man's land in the right corner, and she's got the first points of this 3rd set as Lockmuller checks back in. Back to serve is Novotny. Outside now to Kunkel. She'll swing, and she's dug there by Irwin. Right side now. Harrington off of the block and out of bounds. And Harrington with another kill, her 10th. Quick 2-0 lead for Grace. Steckelberg's pass to Pelak, now to Clark. Clark got there a little bit early, and Hill is able to dig it. Here comes Fry. She'll go in the middle and tipped over there by DiAgostino. And Fry will go down the line, and Steckelberg is right there. Kunkel cross court, and it hit the antenna. Both officials saw it and called it immediately. And up off the bench comes DeBazio, and she'll check in for St. Francis. She'll replace Kunkel. Better pass this time. They'll go in the middle to DiAgostino. She just tips it over. Tight ball to the net. And that's won by St. Francis, but another chance for Grace, and they'll call a double hit on Harrington, and it's a side-out point to the Cougars, as I believe Marshall will serve for St. Francis. Back in is Kendra Seifring. Irwin's pass really tight to the net, and they're going to call Seifring over the net. Sharp up off the bench, she'll serve. She replaces Harrington. And the Cougars once again with a slow start in the set. Clark cross court, finds the corner and has a kill. Clark will serve. Tight ball to the net, and who do they call in the net? Or two hits, double hit on Hill, and the Cougars within one. Oh, and Clark mishits it, and it goes into the net. She knew it right away. That'll get North back in for the Cougars, and Irwin out as Michael Ski comes back in, and that'll send Fry back to serve. DeBazio sends it over. Now a chance for the Lancers. That ball's tipped long and no touch. That'll get Candler and Hissong back in for St. Francis. Candler to serve. Hissong will move to the outside. Fry's pass, not too good. Lockmuller will bump set it right back to Fry. She'll swing, and it'll be out of bounds, and we're tied up at 5. Good pass there by Sharp to Hill. Now to Lockmuller, and she puts it away. Lockmuller with her 5th kill. That'll get Leach back into the match, and back to serve is Lockmuller. Top back in for St. Francis. Good pass, they'll go right to Seifring. She'll hit it into the blockers. They'll go outside now for Hissong. She'll hit it into the blockers. Michael Ski with the swing, and nothing there. And outside back to Hissong, cross court, dug by Lockmuller. And once again, that ball never even went over the net. I am not sure what the officials are even looking at. That was clearly about a foot under the white tape. I mean, my eyesight is terrible, and I can see that. And an ace for Lockmuller. And I think if I'm Coach Haddix, I'm going to use a timeout here. Lockmuller continues to serve. Good pass. Outside now to Hissong. She'll swing. And blocked by Hill. Four-point lead now for Grace. The bump set now outside to Hissong off the net into the blockers and Doug. Seifring swings and she's blocked. Seifring again from the right side, and that never went over. And the Lancers have doubled up the Cougars. Coach Haddock talked with me before the game. He said all it takes is 1 point and 1 set to send you in the wrong direction. And the Cougars certainly in the wrong direction right now as the Lancers have taken control of this 4th set. Seifring will try it again, but Fry is there. Michalski off the forehead of Seifring and out of bounds. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Cross.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Timeout over here in set number 4. It has been all Lancers. They have looked dynamite in set number 4. They've gotten to all the loose balls. They've dug just about everything. They've blocked everything, so a good set here for Grace. Tight ball to the net. Seifring swings cross court. Nobody there, and she's got her 11th kill. That'll send Seifring back to serve. There's a big swing out of the right side by Hill. Nothing there. DiAgostino swings a bit, and Novotny's got it. Michalski, tipped over there by Hill, and a great move. And Hill with the kill. Hill will serve. In comes Harrington. Good pass. Good set. Hissong swings off of the blockers and dug by Fry. This ball sent to the deep in the back row. Here comes DiAgostino. She'll tip it off of Leach, and she'll have another kill. Her 9th. Pilak now to serve. Good pass by Fry to Hill. On the right side to Leach. She swings, and it's dug by Top. Annie Fry takes a big cut and a kill. Annie Clark with a big point for St. Francis as she drives it off of Fry into about the 7th row here at the Hutzel Center. Good pass. And did that find the corner? Harrington with another big point. Irwin will check in and she'll serve. Ooh, that ball got right up on top quickly. Hissong tips it over, and right there's Fry. Harrington again, dug by Marshall. And again, she'll try that corner. Here comes Hissong. A little better swing this time, but Fry's got it. They'll go outside to the freshman. She'll hit it right at Pelak and have a kill. Six-point lead again for Grace. They trail by a set, but boy, they have taken control and all of the momentum here in set number 4. And Clark's going to have another kill. Her 13th. And that'll bring DeBazio and Steckelberg in for the Cougars. Novotny with a good pass to Hill. Outside now to Fry. Dug by Pelak. Bump set by Marshall to DeBazio. She'll swing cross court, but Novotny is right there again. A tip by Fry and covered up by Pelak. They'll go right side now to Clark, and this ball's going to come over the net. Right back to DiAgostino, and a couple touches there and sent over by Fry, and that was going to stay in. Clark again, cross court, and she's got another kill. Clark brings the Cougars back within 4. Keep feeding her. She's been hot in this in the entire match, to be quite honest with you. One of the few players for St. Francis that's really been able to do some damage in the attacking position. Here's Harrington, and she's blocked. And they say out. So Harrington with another kill, her 12th. It's funny because both DiAgostino and I believe it was DeBazio were over there. They both thought it was in. But the official right there said it was out. Here comes Annie Clark. She'll tip it and have another kill. Her 15th. In comes Seifring. Back goes Marshall to serve. Good pass by Novotny. Here comes Harrington, a little tight to the net, and they'll call a double hit, and Novotny was going to get blocked. DeBazio and Kinder Seifring both right there, and the Cougars back within 3. Good pass by Irwin. Hill to Lockmuller, and she's blocked. Right side now, cross court, and right there's Pelak. Bump set now to DeBazio, and she hits the antenna. What is that, the 4th or 5th time tonight the Cougars have hit that antenna? Back to serve is Sharp. Good pass by Steckelberg. They'll go to Seifring, off of the head of Fry. And now back to Fry. She's blocked by Clark and Seifring. Clark having a very good evening. And she'll go back to serve. Good pass by Sharp. Here comes Lockmuller. And she'll swing again, but right there is Clark. Marshall will take a swing. Whoa, nice swing. Almost blocked there by Lockmuller. Fry's blocked, and it'll go off of the blockers and land for another kill, her 10th. And a 4-point lead again for the Lancers as Fry serves, as North will check back in. Every time North's come in, they've gone right at her. Marshall with a difficult pass to Pelak. DeBazio sends it over, and another chance for Grace. Lockmuller tips it over, and a good bump set there to DeBazio. Here comes a swing. Long on that and out of bounds. The officials say no touch. That'll get Candler and Hissong back in for the Cougars. Good pass by Sharp. Now to Lockmuller. She's blocked, but Novotny is in the right spot again. A tip. Candler has it, and it's a kill for Michalski. That'll get Leach back in for Grace, and back in for the Cougars is Top. Lockmuller to serve. Her team leads by 4. Outside to Hissong, off of the double block. And Hissong with her second kill. I think Cougars need to try to go down the line a little bit. Tool it off the block, get it out of bounds. They're covering up the cross court pretty easily is Grace. They've made that adjustment. Seifring to serve. DiAgostino back in, and that ball's long. And that's why coaches have little or no hair right there. Back to serve is Hill. Harrington back in for Grace. Marshall with the pass. Now outside to Hissong. It's touched by 2 different Grace players. Back to serve is Pelak. In comes Annie Clark. Good pass. Hill now to Harrington. She'll tip it, but back there is Top. They'll go to Clark. She'll tip it, but Novotny there. And a big swing by Michalski, and she puts it away, her 5th kill. Irwin will check in, and she'll serve. 4-point lead now for Grace. They have got all the momentum. They took it midway through that 3rd set, and they have not let off the gas. Outside now to Hissong. She's blocked. All the way to Fry. She'll tip it, but Pelak is there. A bump set out right side. Ooh, nice kill by Annie Clark. Annie Clark with her 16th kill. Carlo going to check back in this time along with Steckelberg. It's Coach Haddock mixing it up again in the front row. Good pass by Irwin to Hill. And straight into the double block, but it's a point for Harrington. Her 13th kill. That'll send Novotny back to serve. Good pass by Steckelberg. Outside now to Carlo. She'll swing, hits it, and Irwin gets it. Outside to Fry, off of the blockers, and the freshman with another kill, her 11th. And a 5-point lead for Grace. They're looking to send this to a 5th set. Carlo again. She'll hit it off the blockers. That's her 9th kill. Back to serve, Nikki Marshall. And a good deep serve there, and an ace. Cougars draw within 3. Marshall puts a lot on that one. Good pass to Hill. Here comes Harrington. She'll tip it. Clark barely gets to it. Now outside to Carlo. Cross court, dug by Novotny, and a free ball for the Cougars. Great play there by the Lancers. Here comes Seifring, and she'll have a kill. Seifring's 12th kill. And the Cougars still alive here in this set number 4, and a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Timeout just about over here. The Cougars have gotten to about as close as they've been here in the fourth set. They trail by 2 to Grace. They won the first 2 sets, did St. Francis 25-20, 25-17, and then it was the Lancers 25-22, and they have not trailed here in set number 4 with Nikki Marshall to serve, and she needs to make sure this one is in. They'll go right at Irwin. Good pass to Hill. Outside to Fry. She'll tip it. But Steckelberger's there. That would have gone out. Here comes Clark. She'll have to go cross court, and right there is Hill. Bump set now to Harrington. She'll swing, and Marshall's got it. In the middle, tip deep, but Emily Irwin with a good save. Clark again, blocked, saved by Marshall, and Carlos sends it over, and we'll play on. Longest rally of the match. Lockmuller with a big swing. And another chance for the Lancers. Here comes Harrington. She'll swing, and now that ball's really tight to the net, and Clark can't stop and goes into the net. 2 points away from taking the fourth set is Grace. In comes Sharp. She'll serve. Out goes Harrington. And if you're the Cougars, that's the one you want to see get out of the lineup is Harrington. Right side now to Clark. She'll swing, and a good dig there by Sharp. And a block by Annie Clark. Annie Clark doing it all this evening for the Cougars. And she'll serve, and she looks absolutely worn out back there. She'll go right at Sharp. Good pass to Hill. They'll go to Lockmuller on the slide. She's blocked by Carlo. And it's a 1-point set. And a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Cougars have fought back here in set number 4. They trail by 1. They've trailed by 6 to 8 majority of this fourth set, and they've scratched their way back behind Annie Clark's hot hand. Nobody needed that timeout probably more than Annie Clark. She has done it all, blocking, awesome attacks from the right side this evening, and has done very well back at the service line. And she'll get us going here. Need to serve it in. The senior to serve. And they'll go right at Irwin. Good swing there by Lockmuller. Once again, now to Fry. She'll swing, and a point Fry. And we are at set point. Fry with her 12th kill. And that'll send the freshman back to serve. And we'll crank up the volume once again, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine. Seifring with her 13th kill will make us play at least one more point as Candler comes in along with his song. Seifring with the biggest point of the set there. She gets the Cougars back even. And Candler to serve for St. Francis. Tied up at 24. Good pass by Sharp. Here comes Lockmuller. She'll tip it and saved. Nobody there for the Cougars. And now it's Lockmuller with a chance to give the Lancers this 4th set. And we'll crank up the volume once again. And that will do it for set number 4. The Lancers win 26-24. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the start of the 5th set. We're watching Cougars volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate. And it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the 3rd rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
We are headed to a 5th and deciding set here in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament as the Lancers from Grace College have stormed back after losing the first 2 sets to take the last 2 sets 22-24. So here we go, set number 5 underway here at the Hutzel Center. The winner of this will take on the winner of Huntington and Marion. That game will play tonight at 7 p.m. down in Indianapolis. The Cougars are going to have to find some offense from somebody other than Annie Clark here in set number 5. For the Lancers, I would just keep feeding Harrington. She seems to have the hot hand. Fry's heated up at times, but Harrington doing a lot of the damage on that right side for Grace. The problem for the Cougars really has been their slow starts in each set. They've been down 3-1, 2-1, 4-1, always finding themselves down early and having to scrap and claw to get back into the sets. So if they can manage not to get down so early, they may have a chance of winning this 5th set. And we are ready to go. We'll see who got the hammer and serves first. I believe it is the Cougars because the ball's on their side of the court. And now they'll let Marshall in for DiAgostino, and Steckelberg will go back to serve. All right, we play the first one to 15. Winner by 2 here in set number 5. You would have told me we would be here at set number 5 about 1 hour ago. I would have told you were crazy, but the Grace Lancers have caught fire. Steckelberg serves, goes right at Irwin. Tough angle there. A touch, and Carlo catches up to it. Seifring with it, off of the blockers, and there's Harrington. They'll go outside to the freshman, and that hit and landed out of bounds. I thought it caught Novotny's arm on its way down, but it did not, and Novotny serves. Her team leads by 1 here early. Steckelberg's pass is too tight to the net. Seifring can do nothing with it. And sloppy play leads to a point for Grace. They lead by 2. Good pass now to Pilak, outside to Carlo, off the net and dug by the freshman. Now it's just pumped up into the air. Pilak takes a swing and Irwin is there. Here comes Harrington, off of the blockers and dug by Pilak. A bump set now to Carlo. She'll swing and right at Irwin. Fry blocked by Seifring. Harrington again will tip it deep, but Steckelberg is there. They'll go to Seifring. She'll hit it right at Hill. Cross court and tight ball to the net. Wow, this is a long rally. And Lockmuller with the put away. Her 6th and a 3-point lead now for the Lancers. Float serve coming right at Seifring. And now outside to Carlo, off of the blockers and dug there by Novotny. The blockers get there late, and it's Harrington again with the big swing. Her 14th of the match, and it's a 4-point lead for the Lancers. The magic number is 4. They'd be happy just trading points now with St. Francis. And an ace for Novotny. Her 3rd. 5-0 Grace here in set number 5. Seifring with the pass now. She'll get a return one. Swings and puts it away. Seifring's 15th kill will send her back to serve as into the lineup comes DiAgostino. Good pass. Good set. Outside now to Harrington and off of Steckelberg and out of bounds. And 15 kills now for Harrington. In comes Sharp. And Nikki Marshall in for the Cougars. Cougars running out of points and time here in this 5th set. Carlo now swings, drives it off of Irwin and out of bounds. And that will get Annie Clark back into the matchup for North as Pelak serves. Annie Clark's been the most dangerous weapon this evening for the Cougars. Novotny's pass to Hill. Bump set now to Fry and Doug. Outside again to Carlo. She'll swing. Novotny catches up to it but can't get enough on it, and it goes out of bounds. Taylor Carlo now with her 11th kill. The Cougars trail by 3. Float serve goes right at Irwin. They'll go right in the middle to Lockmuller. Dug by Pelak. Bump set now to Carlo, who will just send it over, and a chance for the Lancers. Here comes Lockmuller on the slide. Covered up there by Clark. Outside now to Carlo. Cross court and out of bounds. Michael Ski back in. She'll replace Irwin. Back to serve Fry. Good pass. Outside. Nope, to Clark. Down the line, and they say out of bounds. Cougars are, I'm not sure they had the right people in the right spot, and they'll switch sides now. As Clark and Carlo were both stuck in the same spot over there. And a mix-up, and the ball goes out of bounds. A 5-point lead. We played at 15 here in set number 5, as Fry will continue to serve as the teams trade sides. The float serve coming. Good save there by Steckelberg. Outside to Carlo. She'll swing and blocked by Hill and Lockmuller. DiAgostino now. She'll tip it over, but Lockmuller catches up to it. Bump set to Michael Ski off of the blockers, and Pelak now to Clark, who takes a big swing. And DiAgostino with it again. Now to Clark, and she'll have another kill. Clark with her 17th kill. Candler and Kunkler checking in for the Cougars. Candler to serve. A bump set now to Michael Ski. Along with that one to Candler. Now back right side to who else? Annie Clark. Her 18th kill. And they're going to need a heck of a lot more if they want to advance out of this quarterfinal round. Hill's pass now to Fry out of the back row, and DiAgostino sends it back the other way with her 3rd block. Candler again to serve. And a service error. Up off the bench comes Top. She'll check in for Candler. Lockmuller to serve as Leach checks back in for the Lancers. Tight ball to the net now. Michael Ski takes the swing and puts it away. Her 5th kill. 4 points away now from winning this match is Grace. Set outside now to Kunkler. They'll catch up to it, Will Grace. Now a free ball for the Cougars. And they'll go right back to Clark. She'll tip it down into the middle, but right there's Hill. A bump set now to Michael Ski. She's blocked by Clark. Nikki Marshall in to serve. And they'll go right at Sharp. Good pass to Hill. Here comes Leach, cross court and blocked. Outside down to Michael Ski. She tips it. Seaford catches up to it, and she's going to get another kill. It's just like anything that could go wrong. Anything that could go wrong is going wrong right now for the Cougars, and they'll use one of their timeouts. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Cross.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Grace will be serving. They lead by 5 here in set number 5. They are just 3 points away from taking this 5th and deciding set and moving on to the semifinals here in the Crossroads League tournament. Hill's float serve does not make it over. They've been trying to catch the Cougars in a rotation with that float serve. Hasn't worked yet. Annie Clark serves. Good pass there to Hill. Here comes Leach, cross court into the double block, and she's got another kill. And Gabby North checks in for Annie Clark as Irwin checks in, and she'll serve. Harrington also back onto the court. Now outside to Kunkler. She'll tip it down the line, but right there is Irwin. Fry swings and puts it away. We are at match point here at the Hutzel Center. And we'll crank up the volume once again, presented by a timeout. Too soon, a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Cross.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked it.
A quick timeout here. It'll be Irwin back to serve for the match. Conkler with the kill keeps the Cougars in this match. Steckelberg in along with Carlo, and Steckelberg will serve. They'll call a net violation on the Lancers, and the Cougars will stay in this match as Steckelberg goes back to serve. Timeout on the court. Grace will use a timeout. You're watching Cougars Volleyball live from the University of St. Francis.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And look at Strong.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Cougars still alive here in set number 5, but barely hanging on by a thread. They trail at match point with Steckelberg to serve once again. We'll crank up the volume. Once again presented by Parkview Sports Medicine. Carlos saves the day once again, and we are still at match point. The second match point now. And that'll do it. The Lancers storm back from being down 2-0, and they'll win set number 15, or the set number 5, 15-11 to advance to the semifinals. An odd night for the Cougars for sure. They jumped out to an early 2-0 lead before, well, quite frankly, the wheels fell off for them, and they dropped this quarterfinal match. And that will end their postseason play here in the Crossroads League tournament. Your unofficial stats. The Cougars on the season will drop to 21-13 overall. I don't know what that will do to their chances to make it to the national tournament, but we'll wait and see. For St. Francis, Steckelberg with an ace. The 3 aces by Marshall. Candler with 3 aces, Kendra Seifring with 15 kills, Annie Clark with an ace, 4 blocks, and 18 kills. Pilak with a block, but she had numerous assists. DiAgostino with 9 kills and 4 blocks. Ava Kunkler with 10 kills and a block. Taylor Carlo with 11 kills and 2 blocks. And Michaela Hissong with 3 kills for St. Francis. For the Lancers, Michalski with 7 kills, 3 from Bell. Harrington, who had an outstanding night with 15 kills. Novotny with 2 aces. Fry with 14 kills and 2 blocks. Michaela Lockmuller with an ace, 6 kills and 2 blocks. Alexa Hill with an ace and a kill, but she probably had 50 or 60 assists in this match. Hannah Leach with 2 kills. Emily Sharp with an ace. So congratulations to the Lancers. They win this evening's matchup with the Cougars. They will. Their record now stands at 17-17. They will move on to play the Wednesday night. The place is to be determined because now that they won, if Huntington beats Marion, then they would get a home game. So Huntington and Marion set to tip off here and get going in about an hour. So it's a disappointing loss for the Cougars for sure. Tonight's matchup, I want to thank our sponsors, MSI, Mill Supplies, and Parkview Sports Medicine. Well, that does it here from the Hutzel Center. It was St. Francis winning sets 1 and 2, 25-20, and 25-17, and then it was all Lancers from that point on. They take set 3, 25-22, set 4, 26-24, and then they take set number 5, the deciding one, 15-11. Congratulations to Katie Van Hofwagen and the entire Lancer family as they advance into the semifinals. That does it here from the Hutzel Center. For my cameraman, Big Dave Peterson, I'm Ryan Dellinger, and you've been watching Crossroads League tournament action live from the Hutzel Center.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream, and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And look at Strong.
Shot hits the post. And a centering feed to Louis Knipscher. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.